Hey everybody, Ghost Cat here. Welcome back to Prototech or Bust, the series where I start from scratch and work to acquire Prototech of my very own. In today's episode, commence the jiggling. There is an inflamed orifice, and there are festive holiday lights. So, without further ado, we are off like a herd of turtles. And remember, for more Space Engineers feline antics, do the things. Yep, you know the ones. Well folks, here we are, back in our jump ship above the entrance to that base that we captured last time. And while we still have to loot it, I really want to test out this drone, so I'm going to jump us off towards this unidentified signal. It's pretty close, less than 3,000 kilometers, so we should be able to make it easily in far less than a single jump. And then we're going to go check that out. Looks like it's a ship because it's moving, so maybe we'll get some tasty Prototech goodies, maybe not, but one way or the other, I want to give this drone a chance to go through its paces. Well, whatever that thing is, it is cooking right along. So, I'm going to try to jump a little closer real quick, and once my jump drive recharges, and then we'll go in and see what's going on here. Alright, because the speed it's moving at, I'm going to do something I don't normally do, and use that unidentified signal as my target, so things might get a little hairy. Abandoned ship AI. It says weapons enabled. Better get to the Bobcat. Wow, that thing is really hauling. I might have to just chase it with the Bobcat and try the drone on something else. Yeah, this thing is hauling right along. I'm barely running even with it at full speed. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to catch it. I'm going to have to go back, get the jump ship, and try to get ahead of it.
Shit.
Alright, I've jumped us in about 50 kilometers ahead of it, so as much as I want to test the drone, I think I'm going to take this one on with just the Bobcat. I don't know if the drone with its ion thrust only would be able to even catch this thing, so here we go folks, let's go see what we can find. Figure out why this ship is cruising across the star system as an abandoned ship. Inside 10 kilometers. Down to 5 kilometers, preparing to intercept.
Ship low.
Well, she's not shooting at us anymore. And I've got my dampeners relative to her. Let's go check this thing out. Oh, looked like it smacked into us. Oh, look at that. That's a Prototech thruster. This looks just like that ship we found on Pertam. Oh yeah, and it's kicking like it too. Let's get in here and see if we can't shut this thing down. Alright, the grid has been claimed. Should have brought a better grinder. One way or the other, I'm going to slow this thing down.
Inventory full.
Trying to get to the front of the ship. Maybe get a control panel. Maybe get a control seat. Something to see what I can do about this thing kicking. Doesn't look like there is a control seat up here.
Inventory full.
Gotta find that AI move block.
Inventory.
Aha, I found it.
Inventory full. Inventory.
Let's grind this thing down. Hopefully this thing will stop.
Inventory full.
Might have to put a control seat or something on it, but...
Inventory full. Inventory.
Huh, still moving. Let's find somewhere to put a control seat quick. And there we go. Both of the reverse thrusters were damaged, so I just had to fix them up, and it was able to slow this ship down. Well, folks, we captured ourselves a Prototech ship, or what's left of it. I didn't see any Prototech lurking inside, but we do now have a pretty busted up Prototech thruster. But we can gather components and repair that. And if I remember correctly, these ships also have 2 Prototech gyroscopes down here in these wings. Let's see if we can find them. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. I saw one of them while I was running around looking for that move block, so I know there's at least one in here. So hopefully we get both of them. That would be nice. We're getting quite the collection of Prototech gyroscopes. Alright, I repaired one of the thrusters that I had ground down while we were trying to stop this ship. Now we have thrust in all 4 directions. Let's see if we can find our way back to the jump ship and maybe catch up with the Bobcat along the way. Unless that's it right there. Let's head that way and see if she is. It's definitely something of ours, so... Well, now I'm sure that it's the Bobcat because I'm not getting any closer. So, the dampers must be set to this ship still. So I'm going to run out there and grab the Bobcat, bring it back in, then we can get headed back for the jump ship and go from there. Well, it looks like we certainly sustained some damage in that conflict. I am missing a whole section of my ship. Unfortunately, I think that section contained my oxygen tank. That one or one of the other sections that got hit because our oxygen supply is depleted. So, I may experience a brief regeneration here shortly when I run out of oxygen. Oh, and here's the countdown. My oxygen has been depleted.
Low health.
Get this connected.
Health critical.
Oh, there it goes. My life support failed. Now, back to what I was doing.
Ship fuel low.
I need to get the Bobcat mag-plated to this Factorum ship because our reactor got destroyed. So I'm trying to do the mag plate mambo. I think these turrets are in the way. This ship is slated for demo at this point anyway. So I'll just grind these off.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
We can get attached to our apparently now missing mag plate. There it goes. Alright, we're connected. Now we're relying on this Prototech ship to get us back to the jump ship, and from there, back to that asteroid base we captured. Although I might actually make a side trip back to the cat tree, because that way we can grab the block ferry and figure out how we're going to get that drill out of that cave. And here we go, headed back for the jump ship. It's about 17 kilometers out. You can see it just ahead of us right there. And here we are, folks, back at the jump ship. I put a landing gear on the front so I could just grab the wreckage of these two ships, because I didn't feel like trying to dock either of them. And I'm going to take this back to the cat tree, grab our little block ferry, and then jump back to that asteroid base, and I will catch up with you folks when I get there. So, back here at this asteroid base we captured, Bio-Research Base I believe it's called, my plan was to attach a battery to the Prototech drill, turn the drill on, grab it with a ship with a mag plate, and just drill my way out. So, I put a GPS marker right by the drill and went looking for the spot that was closest on the surface of the asteroid, so I'd know which way to point the drill before I started building stuff and drilling through the walls. As it turns out, the Prototech drill is located through the floor directly at the bottom of the main shaft we came in through. Which, that makes things make a little bit more sense. Let me run down to where the drill is, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Down here, back at the drill, we've got this little base here with this control panel that I kind of just looked at before and didn't think much of, but it's labeled drill console. When you look at the buttons, one is to reverse the piston and one is to reverse the direction. The one that reverses the piston turns it on and pushes it down. And I was wondering why the other one, reverse direction, turned the drill vertically, but I guess now we know. This drill is preset to make its way out of this place. That being said, there's a nice little deposit here. I don't have a drill on me, but it looks like platinum. So, we're going to drill this with that drill real quick, and then we'll spin it around and blow a hole in the top of this place, and then begin the looting process. Having that hole there should make it a whole lot easier. And here it goes. Scooping up whatever tasty ore that is. Like I said, it looks like platinum, but without a drill I can't say for sure. Although I suppose, as this runs right up here, we can just hack this cargo container and see what's in here. Sure enough, it's platinum. Alright, let's spin this thing around and make an exit. And we'd better do it quick because I need oxygen and energy. So I gotta get out pretty fast. Alright, let's get this thing going. Uh-oh, we got subgrid shenanigans. Inertia tensor. There, that did it. Shared the inertia tensor real quick, and she's right as rain. And there we are, folks. We've got ourselves a fresh back door. I'm gonna go grab some energy and oxygen, and then I think I'm gonna loot this base really quick, and I'll be with you folks in just a minute. Well, folks, the base has been looted. I grabbed all the stuff that we couldn't make, the Prototech and the zone chips, but I figure now that we've got that Prototech drill, resources, and from that, components, aren't really going to be in any sort of scarcity, so I figured I'd leave a lot of those be, save some time, and I decided to set up a quick little bit of fun for us, so let me light the fuse on these fireworks and we'll see how this turned out. And the countdown has begun. Might want to back away a little bit. Right on, that was kind of cool. Let's jump back to the cat tree and figure out what we're doing from there. And here we are, folks, back at the cat tree. I think the next order of business is I'm going to go and gather up all the Prototech that we've captured in our last couple battles, because I know I've got bits and pieces scattered all over, and take stock of what I've actually acquired and figure out what I want to do with it. I know that I do want to slap this drill on the front of a new mining ship, however. I've got some ideas for that, but we'll get to that in a minute. First, gathering Prototech. And here it is, the collection of Prototech we've gathered in our last few encounters. All told, we've got 4 large grid Prototech gyroscopes, 2 of them damaged pretty badly. Well, this one isn't too bad, but this one here is pretty busted up. And 1 small grid Prototech battery. We've got the Prototech drill, fully intact, and a large grid Prototech thruster that's also in pretty rough shape. I would say it's not a terrible haul. So, I think the next thing I want to do is put together a new mining ship real quick that we can put this drill on the front of. That and maybe one of these gyroscopes, but I think I'm going to hold off in case I end up needing it. And then we can take this Prototech drill out and see what she'll do. And here it is, folks, the new mining ship that will host the Prototech drill. We've got a cargo container, 4 hydrogen thrusters, a hydrogen tank to hold the fuel for those thrusters. We've got our sorters and ejectors, a regular gyroscope, because as I said, I'll only put a Prototech one on here if it becomes necessary. Our forward and reverse thrust is ion thrust, 4 in each direction. And then we've got the programmable block and the remote control and all the bits we need to set it up for the auto mining, should I decide to do it that way. However, For now, I think we're just going to leave it like this because I think we'll grab enough ore in any given run to fulfill whatever needs we may have. I'm going to go grab the block ferry and bring that drill over here and we can get it connected. And here it is, folks. That is a big drill. Let's head over to that ice asteroid that we were mining on with the cuttlefish and see if we can get enough ice to actually make a dent in filling our hydrogen tanks. And here we are. Let's find a nice flat surface. This one looks good. Alright, let's give it a shot. Turn the drill on, and here we go. Well, folks, as you saw, that took virtually no time at all, and we've filled an entire large cargo container with ice. Let's get this back to the cat tree and get it offloaded. And here we are back at the cat tree. I'm going to build a connector for this real quick. That'll reach this connector right here on the bottom, and we'll get this ice offloaded. Alright folks, let's set her down and offload our 1 million kilos of ice. Excellent. Now we should have more than sufficient ice for a while. The next task I want to work on real quick is coming up with a solution for all these derelict ships I keep bringing home. I was originally going to build a grinder pit, however, I think I'm going to build a grinding ship. The Path Auto Mining script has the option to use grinders instead of drills and set up a grinding ship instead of a mining ship, so I'm going to take a second and rig one of those up, and I'll be back with you folks as soon as I'm ready to start grinding down ships. Alright folks, here she is. This little grinding ship that I've decided to call, at least for the time being, the Junkyard Tom. I put 3 grinders on the front, and then tried to fit everything within the grinder's footprint. All our thrusters, power sources, everything. That way, when it goes grinding in, because if it works the same way that the mining does, it's just going to try to plunge a shaft down into the wreck until it fills up, and then it'll return to its docking point and drop off everything. So I tried to build it the same way I'd build a mining ship. However, in this case, it's a bit wide and flat compared to the shape I'd normally use for a drilling ship, but I think it's going to work out fine. So basically, the way this works is the same way as the auto drilling, I guess. You just set the path, set the job, and have at her. So I'm going to take a second to set this up, and we'll see how it turns out. Alright everybody, got the job set up so that it'll grind up to about this ring of beam blocks and clear out this whole back end of the ship. So I'm going to jump in the interface, I'm going to get it started, and we'll see how well this does. Hopefully it works out and makes it so that I don't have to go through all the time and effort to build a grinder pit. That's what I'm hoping to avoid here. And here it goes. Lining up.
Energy.
That seems to be working pretty well. Alright, that looks pretty good. Well, I'm going to let this ship keep doing its thing. Oh, it must be full.
Energy critical.
I should probably go take care of that. And it's off to continue its task. That's excellent. That should enable rather efficient recycling of all the broken ships I keep bringing home. We've still got these two over here that, once that Factorum ship is done, I'll wheel each of these into place in their turn and have it doing its thing. I don't know if he's a messy eater or if that's just something I dropped when I was in here grinding stuff down, but yeah, I think this is just what we needed. So now I can bring home ships that I either find derelict or ships that I capture, and we can grind them down for scrap. Right on. Well, now that I've got that going, something else I want to do is move those two Factorum cargo containers that, admittedly, I did just put them on here. But I want to move those down into here. That load of ice that we dropped off kinda overloaded our system, so I want to have a couple of buffer tanks. I'll use this one and this one over here, and then drop them in so that if we get any ore overflow, when I bring in 1,000,000 ore or so, I imagine it'll be about the same quantity as what we got from the ice. So when I bring home 1,000,000 kilos of ore, it'll have somewhere to go and not clog up our entire system, especially if I go and mine a little bit of everything. Make a bunch of mining runs to all the local resource spots I identified, pick up a little bit of everything so we will be fully loaded and not have to do any mining for a good long time. So I'm going to grab our little block ferry and get those moved real quick. And there it goes. There were a few blocks in the way, but I ground those out, and the first one is in. Now I just have to put the second one in right here, and this task will be complete. And there's the second one all hooked up. Let's pop down to that lower walkway and take a look at her. And there they are. You can't really see them very well through the scaffolding, but if we pop out, fly up, got our two cargo containers set in here as buffer space for when we get excessive amounts of ore so that it doesn't overload our refinery. Fantastic. Let's go take a look at how this is doing. Oh, that's right, it came and parked because I ground the camera off. I found that I was having issues with the camera and the two rotating lights I installed interfering with the top and bottom of the grinding path, so I'm going to adjust where I've put those, and we'll get her going again. Alright, got this back underway. I switched the lights to the sides so that we could still have our warning lights and not have them get hung up on the bits of wreckage. Let's just make sure once. Right on, that seems like it's working a whole lot better. Fantastic. Well, everybody, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you've enjoyed yourself, I certainly have. Next time, I want to do a little housekeeping around the base, maybe patch up some of the holes and have a go at getting her airtight. And after that, we'll probably print up a new combat ship and go chase down some more Factorum encounters. I still want to see how that drone's going to perform, and seems like the last couple times I haven't had a chance to get it deployed, so with any luck, we'll get that going next time. I will see you folks then, and as always, have a great day.